the last thing he wanted to do was make her uncomfortable. "Does she have a name?" This was addressed towards the doctor. The older man shook his head slowly, eyes trained on the feral girl. "We call her Patient 214. He bristled at the assumption that she was less than human, that she was undeserving of a name. That would change immediately once she came home with them. "Hello, sweetie." He tried again. This time, he did not step closer. She could come to him if she wanted to. "Don't," she croaked out. Her voice was strange to his ears, an almost unfamiliar lilt to her vowels. "He doesn't want you to touch me." "Who doesn't want me to touch you?" he asked, glancing over his shoulder at the stone-faced doctor. Had the doctor said something to her? From his apathetic expression and the stiff shake of his head, the man reasoned that he hadn't. "Who are you talking about?" the man repeated. The little girl stared up at him. Despite her young age, there was a coherence in her expression that was startling. When she spoke, her voice was a whisper. "The Shadow Man." 1. Present day. The house was nice. Not the most eloquent description, but there were no other words I could think to use. An immense structure with protruding rocks created the entryway, and the flower garden had row after row of carefully planted perennials. I personally believed the house was trying too hard. The grass was green, manicured to perfection, and glinting with morning dew. A white picket fence separated the building from its neighbors. I glanced up at the house in dismay, and then glanced down the road at the dozens of other identical houses. Did the builders not believe in individuality? One hand carrying a cardboard box and the other a garbage bag, I walked up the surprisingly steep staircase. "What do you think?" Dad asked eagerly, fumbling to put the key into the lock. I chose, rather wisely, not to answer him. He was proud of this place, but despite its monotonous beauty, it was no home. Only 1 year, I told myself. 1 more year until I could go back. To Dad, I said, "Which room is mine?" I plastered a singularly beautiful smile onto my face to further emphasize my point. Colt told me it was a smile that could make even angels fall. And then he proceeded to call me one of those fallen angels, so I couldn't really take it as a compliment. "I call the biggest room." Carissa pranced by me, hands empty of any belongings. Knowing her, she expected us to carry all of her stuff inside. She probably even expected us to set up and decorate her room. 12 years old, and already a little diva. "You don't get the biggest room." I rolled my eyes at her entitlement. I had always told my parents that they were too lenient with the little she-devil, too wishy-washy. She said jump, and they responded with, "How high?" A petty version of myself might have been jealous of the way that they treated her, but I had long since accepted that her cuteness